G'day, it's weekly Waffle, but we're short of one man. That's half the team. The man who wears the green substitute vest, AFL style, in the Voice of Reason team. That's Danny Power. He's buggered off because I cracked a gag about his nickname that he didn't like, so he's gone up to far north Queensland to try and get over it. So, flying solo, a real lean, mean edition of the weekly Waffle. Lean, mean content, not me, obviously. Where we have a look at Flemington, where we saw him okay, and the good thing was also my man Jamie Mayhew Sharpie found a 25-1 shot in Adelaide, and our Brisbane guy Ben Perkins saw him right too. So we gave a bit of love throughout Australia, but I'm, as always, just focused on the Melbourne races that I do. The first race was won by Honey Steel Gold. Crap time. Whole time was crap here. The bowler, beautiful ride by Craig Newitt to control the race as far as he possibly can. I don't think the horse runs 1600 down a well, so wouldn't be surprised if it comes back in distance and be pretty hard to run down. Be careful, Honey Steel Gold. I mean, it had the perfect run and the data wasn't there, and I think as a long-term play, if you risk horses that have the absolute perfect run and win, it's not a bad strategy because people look at the win, they didn't look at the fact that absolutely everything was in its favour. But if not, we'll soon find out. Race 2 in the program, the legend Darren Gauci just controlled the speed, or outside the speed, and kicked clear on a very moderate tempo on Spitfire Lady, hence its big odds. Avis Delight got done at the short price. The best run of the race was my tip perfect offering. I tipped it each way. There was lots of $10, $12 available on the Friday. Ended up starting when it started, $6. The tempo was so slow that its run was terrific. Some really good sectionals between the 600 and 200. It had to gas out a bit late, but just be careful next start. It still needs the right race shape to suit it, as per last week when it got beaten. Caulfield or Moonee Valley mightn't be its go, so just be careful. We'll try and get the speed map right next time it's in, but it's going well enough to win its second race. Zuma Rock won the fast, called the apprentice only race. Don't know, they don't run the under-16s at the MCG on a Friday night. Why they run an apprentice only at Flemington on a Saturday's got me beat. But its performance at Tatura was huge. Its performance at Bendigo was forgivable. So got back to its right situation. Going forward, those Streets of Seattle, it sort of had a bit of a look at the lead. Wasn't sure what to do. The young kid, Patrick Maloney, who's learning his craft. We're not getting into him. But I think if he had have gone forward with intent, or he on she, might have been hard to run down, but she needs 2,000 anyway. So Streets of Seattle next start. Magic Me out the back. Harry Coffey got lost. That's the type of race you get with the apprentice only race. Magic Me can bounce back, and I've heard Terry O'Sullivan tell RSN might be in Caulfield this Saturday. Caulfield isn't normally its track, so we'll just see how the race shape suits because it does get back, which obviously makes it hard for it. But he's a spiker, Magic Me. When he gets his race run to suit, he can win at big odds. Race 4, Space, high pressure race. Delighted that I sat this one out. Rated Edward right on talent, $3.25. Missed the start by 4 lengths, gets just beaten. So I think you just want to be careful that Space is a nice progressive horse. And they taught it a bit by going out the back on it, coming back from 2,000 to 1,600. Hit the line really well, but it was entitled to because, as I said, the pressure was so high in it that the leaders had to fold. Quick Schnitzel might have been the best of the on-paces, and Batman going well enough on a wet track next start, and might get in with the right type of weight. Down the straight, Riz is. Well, I don't know why it wasn't really truckloaded. Perhaps the stats guys, the people who bet really, really big, the Zelcos of the world, thought Gat Sweeney combination is not the type that they want to be taking the real short price about. But it had the form to dominate, and it dominated. Lavinia, God bless it, as in finally I've got some credibility in my life. I've been recommending to a few people to have a look at Lavinia. I think it's a good talent. Got back on track in its right race. It obviously needs a big track and needs to be able to blend into the race. And a couple of them ran poorly. Chasso, though, ran super. And having a look at the sectional breakdowns between like the 800 and 200, it couldn't go any better for a miler. So Chasse's on track to win a lot of races this prep. In the final, Magnifique Soleil, we were head wobbling, and we were head wobbling even more so on the Friday when there was very good odds. I think as much as $10 was posted, and got the money through a super rider, Ben Mellon, just beat Clanger's Glory, another prelate. Well, it's a loomer. It hasn't got a killer punch. I don't think it's ungenuine. I think it's just got a very short sprint, and Flemington sees it out. So, a mile at Caulfield, if it drew third the fence, it'd probably get out and win. The 2 Moody mares, Day Eater, Stormburst, if they get on a wet track, they'll win again. So they're going well enough. But it was a final, and by that it means a few of them at the end of the prep. Ditto the Banjo Patterson Series final to the fine Largo. How good Tony Vassell is as a trainer. I mean, off a Gutbuster the week before, it wins. Upbeat gets beaten 1,000 lengths. So that tells you how good a trainer is, that he can keep a horse on a 7-day backup off a Gutbuster to go again. Look, it did only beat Outback Joe a 12 to 1 shot by a neck, so people were focusing on Caldini. Yeah, they went fairly hard, but not ridiculously so. Went a bit quicker than it did 2 starts back, not last start when it was off a walk. Caldini had enough, and maybe it's not a good enough horse to start odds on at Flemington. As I said, I think Define Largo had enough on the line too, so just a bit of an iffy race there. The last race, weight's the most overrated form study for mine, and there it was with 60 kilos off a injury concern that was well flagged by the O'Sullivan stable, just being too powerful. Be Diamond's ready to win, Innocent Lady's ready to win, Danish Whiskey, maybe it was just a bit dour and didn't have that turn of foot off the 7-day back in trip, but it might have a win in it. But definitely the horse to follow is Be a Diamond, and hopefully, if not this Saturday, the week after, the Racetrack Ralphy app, racetrackralphy.com.au will mean that everyone can get the form. Should you wish on a Saturday, we're an independent service. We want you to win, and hope you do, punters.